Michael Jordan is a name that everyone in the world knows, even if they know absolutely nothing about basketball. For years now, he's been referred to as the greatest of all time when it comes to basketball players. Most of us stand by this statement, but do the NBA players today agree too? Here's what young NBA players think of Michael Jordan. Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid grew up playing multiple sports. Starting off with volleyball and soccer, he was good enough to be considering going pro playing volleyball, but at the age of 15, decided to give basketball a try. Turned out, he was a natural. Within a year, he moved over to the States with his mentor, Lukemba Amote, and he was unstoppable ever since. From 2013 to 2014, he played basketball for the University of Kansas and participated in 28 games. He was so good that in 2014, he had already been declared for the NBA draft that year, and within the year, was selected by the Philadelphia 76ers and is already a 3-time NBA star. The way his basketball career progressed, it's an inspiration in itself. But players like him have people they look up to as well. 17 years after Michael Jordan's retirement, a mini-series came out in April 2020. The mini-series was all about Michael Jordan's rise to superstardom. Although a lot of people were affected negatively by the mini-series, Joel Embiid is one of the people that saw it a lot differently. In an interview with Lauren Rosen for the Philadelphia 76ers, he talked about how watching the series, he realized he wanted to be where Michael Jordan was too, saying, "It was interesting. I saw a lot of similarities, and a lot of people have told me that. I'm always quiet about it, but I kind of saw that there's a lot of similarities, and I can also be that guy. I just need to keep putting in the work, and that's what I've been doing." It was a great documentary, and I enjoyed it. Although, on the other hand, he also agrees with the Michael Jordan is the GOAT. In an interview with Ringer, he said that, "He's not the GOAT to me. You got Wilt Chamberlain, I mean, he has all the records. They're never going to be beaten. I don't see anybody getting 100 points in a game. That's it. He's the GOAT." With this statement, he showed that although he does credit Michael Jordan for being an inspiration, he still doesn't think that he's the best player the world has ever seen. Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic is a player that pretty much has basketball in his blood. His father was a former basketball player and is now a basketball coach. They said that the first time Luka touched a basketball, he was only 7 months old. By the time he was 1, he was already shooting hoops with a miniature hoop. It's no surprise that he continued on playing the sport as he grew up and at the age of 19, was declared for the NBA drafts in 2018, and ended up joining the Dallas Mavericks. He shot to fame at a very young age. So much so that he even inspired legends like Michael Jordan himself. In an interview, Jordan spoke about Doncic, saying, "Luka is a phenomenal player and at such a young age. He's demonstrating skill it takes many guys years to develop. It will be incredible to watch him continue to advance in the league." And he wasn't wrong. Only 1 year after joining the NBA, he broke Michael Jordan's record of the longest 20 points, 5 assists, 5 rebound streak at only 19 games. At that point, he was constantly compared to Michael Jordan. Some said that he was possibly even better than him. He addressed these comparisons by saying, "There are a lot of stats going on, I think. It's a little too much about stats. You can't compare anyone with Michael Jordan. He's one of a kind. Those are just stats. I'm passionate for the game. I want to win. Sometimes I get out of control just because I want to win the whole time. I'm competitive. You can ask my family. Even if it's not basketball, it's anything. I need to work on that." He's such a huge fan of Michael Jordan that he even signed a 5-year deal with his brand. They're his official sponsors. Even though Luka already knew that Michael Jordan admired him, he still had a fanboy moment when he met him. He said, "I was too nervous. I forgot to ask for a picture." Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell has always looked up to Michael Jordan, even when he was a child. Before being a basketball legend, Michael Jordan was a baseball player, and so was Mitchell's father. He was a minor league player, and that meant Mitchell spent a lot of time around other players, and one of the players he was obsessed with was Michael Jordan. In college, Mitchell played both baseball and basketball, but ultimately ended up going forward with basketball at the end. But since he looked up to Michael Jordan so much, he picked his official number to be 45, the number Jordan wore as a basketball player. He kept this number throughout his career and wears it in honor of Jordan. When he was asked about why he wears this number, he said, "Everybody wants to be 23. But everybody forgets about 45. That's been my life. No one really notices me, or everybody forgets about me. In rankings, whatever it may be, in high school. So I've always had that extra top on my shoulder, and that's pretty much why I stick with 45. When The Last Dance miniseries was airing, Mitchell was live tweeting. 2 of them were notable. In the first one he said, "Would have loved to watch MJ practice and play baseball." And in the second, people forget failing 6 to 7 out of 10 times is elite in baseball. Donovan Mitchell has made it pretty obvious that Michael Jordan is one of his biggest inspirations in life, and he continues to follow in his footsteps. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo is a Greek basketball player that has been playing basketball throughout his life. In college, he decided he wanted to take up the sport professionally. Within the year of graduating, he was declared drafted in the NBA 2017 draft and ended up joining the Milwaukee Bucks. He made his debut at the age of 18, becoming one of the youngest players in history. His career started off at an all-time high, and it's still going that way. He's considered one of the best players in the world. This also means he's often compared to Michael Jordan. One of the highlights of his career was the game where he scored 50 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists without a single turnover, making him the 4th player in the league's history to ever play like that. When he was asked how he felt about being compared to Jordan, he said, "It's great. It's a compliment being next to a guy like Michael Jordan, obviously, one of the best players to ever play the game. But at the end of the day, what I care about is that I was decisive. When you're decisive, you don't turn the ball over. I was able to get better game by game, find my angles, try to be low, and not try to play as much upright as I have been playing all season, and just make the right play." He even considers playing in Chicago, where Jordan lived while playing for the Chicago Bulls, one of the biggest honors ever, saying, "Chicago is a great basketball city. It's a city that Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen played in, so I had extra juice in me when I played there." Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum had worked up to being where he is today throughout his life. From an early age he played basketball, he became serious about the sport in college and played throughout, until he graduated. In 2017, he got selected into the NBA draft as a one and done. Throughout the next 3 years, he pretty much mimicked Michael Jordan's career. He was hitting similar records and everyone began comparing the two after every single game. Tatum let the comparison slide for the first couple of years and didn't really address anything, but when he watched The Last Dance miniseries, he opened up on social media. He said, "Michael Jordan means so much to myself and just the game of basketball and all the millions of people he inspires doing what he loves, inspiring kids like myself, even though I never got the chance to see him play live. But watching the highlights growing up, just understanding who he was and how much he meant to the game of basketball." He ended up getting to meet Michael Jordan eventually when he went to promote his new shoe line abroad. He spoke about the experience on the All the Smoke podcast and said that although he had met him once in the morning that day, when he saw him at dinner, he was sweaty and nervous. When he extended his hand over to him to say hi, he accidentally knocked over Jordan's wine glass, broke it, and spilt wine all over the table. Tatum tried to help and give him a napkin. Jordan simply said, "No, fella, it's cool. It's good. You all right?" Tatum's reaction is what any major fans would be. "Yo, I'm trippin'." And with that, we conclude today's video. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.